There are many historic teams in the NFL that have diehard fans whether they have or haven't won a Super Bowl. The passionate fan bases you probably thought of were the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Browns, and the obvious one, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles had many quality years under head coach Andy Reid in the 2000s, but never won the big game, losing to the Patriots in the 2004 Super Bowl. And then, Doug Peterson came to town where the Eagles won their first Super Bowl in 2017. Heading into 2016, the Eagles were looking for a new coach after firing Chip Kelly. The Eagles landed on Doug Peterson, who was the offensive coordinator in Kansas City from 2013 to 2015. The move to hire him was controversial by some fans, with him only calling plays for 10 games in Kansas City. He inherited quarterback Sam Bradford from Chip Kelly, but saw Carson Wentz as his franchise quarterback, where they then selected him second overall after trading away a big haul to move up in the draft to go get him. 8 days before the season started, they traded away Sam Bradford for a first-round pick, opening the door for Carson Wentz to start as a rookie. The Eagles started 3-0, looking promising, but then they lost 9 of their remaining 13 games, finishing 7-9 and missing the playoffs. Their run game was strong, being top 10 in the NFL, but their passing offense was 24th, and the Eagles were looking to improve in the offseason following the 2016 season. The Eagles had a good roster because they finished 7-9 with the 12th ranked defense, but they knew they had to add pieces to the team to take that next step. They drafted defensive end Derek Barnett with the first rounder they got for Sam Bradford. They traded a third-round pick to get cornerback Ronald Darby from the Bills, and acquired defensive tackle Timmy Jernigan to round up the defense. In free agency, the Eagles upgraded their poor wide receiver room, signing Torrey Smith on a 3-year deal from the 49ers, and signing Alshon Jeffrey to be their number 1 wide receiver after putting up over 800 yards in only 9 games with the Bears in 2016. These moves were to help their quarterback Carson Wentz entering his second year and give him more weapons to open up the door for tight end Zach Ertz and former first-rounder Nelson Aguilar to make a bigger impact. The Eagles had a running back by committee in 2016, but they signed running back LeGarrette Blount from the Patriots after having an 1,000-plus yard rushing season with 18 touchdowns. Additionally, general manager Howie Roseman brought back former Eagles quarterback Nick Foles on a 2-year deal to be the backup to Carson Wentz in case anything were to happen. Just a small move in that offseason. The Eagles played in a tough division with the Cowboys and Giants, who made the playoffs the year before, but analysts knew that the Eagles had a lot of talent on their roster with one of the best offensive lines in football, with Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, Jason Peters, and Brandon Brooks. Their defense, led by former head coach and then defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, was great last season too and was expected to be dominant. The main question people had was whether Carson Wentz could take that massive second-year leap. Coming out of Philadelphia, many reports stated that Carson Wentz looked like a different quarterback in training camp after struggling mechanically and with reading defenses the year before. One report said, quote, "His release is more compact and he holds the ball higher. He's had some drills under duress, so this isn't just a throwing in shorts against air observation." And continues, "In terms of calling plays, audibles, cadence, it's night and day. He now handles himself like an established starting quarterback up until the moment he cocks to throw." End quote. Head coach Doug Peterson expressed his expectations for Wentz as well, saying, quote, "Carson has had a great offseason and we're expecting big things from him this year. He's got a strong arm, he's smart, and he's got a great understanding of this offense. We're confident that he's going to take a big step forward this season." End quote. The season was tied to Wentz's success. The Eagles won their first game, but in their second game, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, with Wentz being forced to pass 56 times and only running the ball 13 times. When Doug Peterson got to Philadelphia, he established a players' council where they could voice their opinions to coach. Following the Chiefs game, Eagles players on their player council went to coach Doug Peterson and asked for him to change his play calling and incorporate the run game even more. Doug Peterson welcomed this advice and changed the offense. As Eagles offensive coordinator Frank Reich put it,
"It was pretty cool to see, Doug really embrace kind of the players' feedback and really put it to use and really took it to heart."
Following the change, this is what happened.
Here he is. Handoff is to Clemens. The rookie smells it. Touchdown.
In motion is Alshon Jeffrey. The pass up the middle, and it is caught. Touchdown by Jeffrey. Fourth straight game or 100 more yards rushing, and this is why, as LeGarrette Blount, race king, and finally he needs some help. The blitz is on, and Wentz has time. Catch on the road. to the end zone, and it's pulled down for the touchdown, the second of the night for Ertz.
Left tackle for Peters. Wentz, the zone read, take to Blunt, much more than the first down. Wentz stays on his feet, gets it off, and it's a touchdown. Corey Clement, the rookie.
First and goal from the 1. Wentz to the end zone, touchdown. Movement prior to the snap as Blunt takes it in. Wentz lofts it. Wentz trying to convert on 4th down, and what a catch by Jeffrey. Steps up, fire, touchdown.
They went on an 8-0 run with an unbelievably strong running game and Carson Wentz playing at an elite level. He officially took that second-year leap to become the franchise quarterback and was the frontrunner for the MVP award. With all the success, they traded for running back Jay Ajayi to add a spark as the second punch to LeGarrette Blount. This success was exactly what the Eagles and their fans dreamed of. Was this going to be a special year? They finally lost to the Seattle Seahawks in Week 11, and the next game they were playing the Rams, winning, and Carson Wentz continued to be fantastic until this happened.
There's the hit, and I think for the most part he does a pretty good job of protecting him.
He ended up being taken out of the game after staying in for one more pass, and the next day, the worst news to hit Philadelphia happened.
I hate it for Carson Wentz. I hate it for the career, or the season, I guess, that he's been having.
This looked like the wash of a season, despite clinching a playoff berth in that game, with their promising quarterback Carson Wentz being out for the year and the playoffs. Wentz was a major reason why the Eagles' offense thrived and was top 5, and now, Nick Foles was their quarterback. They won their next 2 games with Foles playing well versus the Giants, but struggling versus the Raiders, yet they still won and clinched the number 1 seed. Despite being the number 1 seed in the NFC, they had to count on Nick Foles. Flashback to 2013, and Nick Foles was one of the most surprising stories in the NFL, leading the Eagles and first-year head coach Chip Kelly to the playoffs at 10-6. He stepped in as the starter in Week 6 and dropped an astounding 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions ratio, making the Pro Bowl. They narrowly lost to the Saints on a game-winning field goal where Foles played above average. He then fizzled out, regressing in 2014, and was out of Philadelphia after 2014. He failed as the starter for the St. Louis Rams in 2015 and was a backup in Kansas City until being signed by the Eagles. That was who the Eagles had to trust in to make a deep playoff run. The Eagles' first challenge was facing the Atlanta Falcons, who the previous year went to the Super Bowl, and yeah. They finished 2017 10-6 and were looking to beat the Eagles with their current core of Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and the Dan Quinn defense.
Ryan with the play clock at 1. And Ryan from the pocket throws, caught, put it down. On a 33-yard attempt, which is the length of an extra point these days, 5 consecutive completions. And now look at that play to Aguilar, who takes the handoff. And the 4th down play is Blunt to the outside, and then he goes for a touchdown. It is truly into the wind. And then takes a sideways bounce, and the ball is used at the 19-yard line. Ryan looks that way. Tries to dump it off. Foles gets it down. He'll look out, and it is deflected and caught. Foles, the sideline caught. Been with them since week 2, and Elliott, who has missed an extra point. With Jeffrey, that's been an issue in the last couple of games. Again, the run-pass option. Jones to put it down, and for the lead. The kick is good. River. From the 40-yard line, Ryan's going to go down into the 4th. With a toss, Aguilar. And Aguilar will skirt the sideline to the 4th. With a toss, Aguilar. And Aguilar. And it is 15-10. Blitz. Ryan throws downfield, and it is Jones. Bottom of the screen, one-on-one, and Ryan goes that way on a slant. And it is caught. Ryan in trouble. Ryan flips one into the end zone with a prayer, incomplete.
Nick Foles played good enough to get the Eagles the win, but it was their defense that won them the game and came up clutch on the Falcons' last drive where they did not allow them to score. The Eagles embraced the underdog mentality, with the Eagles being the first number 1 seeded team in NFL history to not be favorites and rather betting underdogs. One win with a backup quarterback was impressive, but the next team they had to face were in a similar situation as them. For the NFC Championship, the Eagles had to face the Minnesota Vikings, who were led by journeyman quarterback and at the start of the season, backup Case Keenum. Sam Bradford, who the Eagles traded away to the Vikings, got hurt after the first game, and Case Keenum took the reins and guided the Vikings to an impressive 13-3 record, where they beat the Saints before this game on the Minneapolis Miracle. They had a stout defense too, under Mike Zimmer being the second-ranked defense in the NFL. The Eagles were one game away from the Super Bowl and needed Nick Foles to somehow lead them to victory over one of the NFL's top defenses.
2nd down and 6. This one floated for Rudolph. Touchdown. 4 men on the rush. Keenum throws. He's picked. Gets it. Robinson for the touchdown. Over the middle. Pass caught. That's Ertz. 1st down from the 11. LeGarrette Blount. Touchdown. Keenum keeps. Looks that direction. Pass is caught. And they bring pressure again by Philadelphia. And Foles able to get away and throw. Pass is caught. Jeffrey on 1st down. The pass is wide open to Ertz. Elliott drills it. 6 for 8 on 3rd down. Flea flicker. Foles launch. Smith on 3rd down and goal. Foles surveys, fires. Championship game for Jeffrey Lurie. On 4th down, Keenum.
That's an empty feeling, knowing how close you got.
The Eagles did it. They somehow beat the Vikings and were onwards to the Super Bowl, despite losing an MVP caliber quarterback. Nick Foles finished 26 of 33 for 352 yards and 3 touchdowns versus that Vikings defense. And the Eagles defense under Jim Schwartz shut down the Vikings when it mattered most. Making it to the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback was already impressive enough, but why not make this a special Philly season? For them to continue their magical run, the Eagles and Nick Foles had to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. This was a rematch of the 2004 Super Bowl where the Eagles were looking to be on the other side this time with a backup quarterback. They were doubted even more than ever, having already been underdogs by sportsbooks in every one of their playoff games, and now going up against MVP Tom Brady and Hall of Fame coach Bill Belichick. Brady and Belichick only lost the Super Bowl to Eli Manning twice, and now backup quarterback Nick Foles was looking to be the third. This was the challenge presenting the Philadelphia Eagles, and the challenge was accepted.
Foles deep in the pocket, fires downfield, and that is hold in. Off play action to the back of the end zone and broken up the opening day. 25-yard attempt is good. Off play action, good protection. Who gets inside the 30? They send White into the slot. Brady looks that way, then fires over the middle. Ryan Allen to put it down. Blount is the running back. LeGarrette Blount up into Patriot territory. Off play action. Going for it all into the end zone, and it is. Donnie Jones puts it down, and that kick is Brady under pressure. Slips away deep downfield. And the ball is handed off to Brandon Cooks, who tries to hurdle and can't. 26-yard field goal attempt, which is juggled, and then he hits the upright. 3rd down and 5 here. And now you got it flipped back here to Danny Amendola.
Trouble, and Brady with the bad hand and no tape.
And Brady down the sideline, and that's incomplete. Pressure coming, and that pass. Soda. Blount is in the backfield. LeGarrette Blount swings to the outside, inside the 10. 5-yard line. The back is Burkhead. Double fake. Gets free. Has a block from Amendola. This time the snap is good. Hold is perfect. From the 44 on 1st down. Foles going deep down the sideline. And it is. He stays in the block. Brady going deep down the right sideline. Forward at this point. Big hole left side. James White. Inside the 10. Takes it to the end zone. Extra point is no good. 3rd and 3. And that is floated. Corey Clement breaks the tackle inside the 20. Through the middle. Still on his feet. And to the outside.
The Eagles were already at the 1-yard line, and head coach Doug Peterson was notorious for being aggressive and going for it on 4th down. In the Super Bowl, the Eagles had to let out all the cards on the table to topple the Patriots. And then, we saw the most iconic play in Philadelphia Eagles history.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
4th and goal. And they're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws, caught. Foles, touchdown.
In the second half, it was a toe-to-toe battle between the two best teams in the NFL.
Take the inside handoff. Brady throws, and that's Gronkowski's. 4-man rush, and then it's caught. Times tonight. Blunt again. Bulls his way. Fake to Blunt. Foles fires down the sideline. Caught. That line does a good job. The pass into the end zone.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Great protection again, down the middle. Play fake on 1st down. To the end zone, caught! Touchdown. Foles puts it in his stomach, then throws to the sideline. Hold it. It's 3rd down and 3. And Foles was swinging. He would break that here, and he does. Moving. And Amendola. And Brady lost one for Gronkowski, reaching for it, touchdown. Pass caught on the outside by Smith, and they go for it. And Foles under pressure throws, caught. 4-man rush. Foles fires, caught.
1-on-1.
Clement flares out to the right, caught over the middle and into the end zone.
The receiver possesses the football, becomes a runner, breaks the plane of the goal line. The ruling is confirmed.
Brady gets hit, the ball is out, and Philadelphia has it.
Pays huge dividends with the first sack fumble of the game.
Donnie Jones to hold it. And it is good. From the 9. Brady fires, and that'll keep it going. Brady. Now he's going to throw short. Gronkowski needs to get out of. I think got 3 DBs back at the 20. Brady fires, and it's almost picked. Brady under pressure. Escapes the sack. Launching one for the end zone. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete.
The Eagles had done it with backup quarterback Nick Foles, who took home Super Bowl MVP and gave Philly their first Super Bowl win in franchise history. Nick Foles was cemented as a Philadelphia Eagles legend, and that 2017 team embraced the underdog mentality from the moment Foles became the starter. This Eagles team faced adversity when MVP frontrunner Carson Wentz went down, and when they were underdogs in every playoff game. And they didn't back down as a team, but instead wrote history and brought the fans and city of Philadelphia their long-desired Super Bowl win.
I'm just trying to live la vida loca. Don't stop, make the whole ceiling drop. Whoa, it only matters if it knocks, make you move out your socks. Now you move to the top thing outside the box. Now I'm inside your thoughts.